Okay, for this problem, what we're doing is we are going to be making some similar figures. Zach and Marta's computer game involves a family called the Wumps. The members of the Wump family are various sizes, but they all have the same shape. That is, they are similar. Remember that term, similar. Mugwump is the game's main character. By enlarging or reducing Mug, a player can transform him into other Wump family members. Zach and Marta experiment with enlarging and reducing figures on a coordinate grid. First, Zach draws Mugwump on graph paper. Then he labels the key points from A to X and lists the coordinates for each point. Marta writes the rules that will transform Mug into different sizes. So Marta tries several rules for transforming Mug into different sizes. At first glance, all the new characters look like Mug. However, some of the characters are quite different from Mug. So we're going to use lab sheet 2.1a and 2.1b to complete the problem. So all of you should have 2.1a, and I apologize if this is a little bit light, but hopefully you can still see it. And you should have lab sheet 2.1b and 2.2b. Okay, so that should be in front of you. All right, A. A says, to draw Mug on a coordinate graph, refer to the Mugwump column in the table on lab sheet 2.1a. For parts 1 through 3 of the figure, plot the points in order. Connect them as you go along. And for part 4, you're going to plot the 2 points but do not connect them. When you're finished, describe Mug's shape. Okay. So as you can see, the coordinates for Mugwump is located along here. So these are the coordinates we're going to use, and we're going to plot these points and then connect them in order. Okay. So the first one, the first point that we're going to plot is point A, and the x coordinate is at 0, and then the y coordinate is at 1. So let's see where that point is on a graph. So we'll come down here, and we'll use this first graph here. Okay, this can be Mug. Alright, so at 0, you start with the x coordinate of 0 and the y coordinate of 1. So the x coordinate is 0, the y coordinate is 1. So that is going to be this point right here. Okay, so that is point A. The next one is going to be at 2, 1. So x is equal to 2, the y coordinate is equal to 1. So let's see where point B would be. X goes to 2, and then y goes up 1, so it'll be about right there. Alright, and then we can connect these 2 points together. When you finish sketching out part 1, this is what Mug should look like at this point. Now to start part 2, you're going to start over. You're not going to connect it from the coordinates of 0, 1, which is point M, to point N, which is 2, 2. And this is what it looks like when you're done with part 2. Now to start part 3, once again, you start over. You don't connect point R to point S. And this is what it looks like when you're done with part 3. Now, look at the directions. Part 4 tells us to just make a dot. So point W and point X are just dots. And this is what Mug should look like when you are done. Now, please take this time and see if you can draw Mug on your own. If you've already done so, we're going to continue on to look at how we plot the coordinates for Zug. Okay, let's go back up to Part B. Part B tells us in the table to look at the columns for Zug, Lug, Bug, and Glug, which are these people right here. Okay. So for each character, we're going to use the given rule, and the given rule is located under rule 2x, 2y for Zug, 3x, y for Lug, 3x, 3y for Bug, and x, 3y for Glug. So those are going to be the rules for each one of those characters. So for parts 1 through 3 of the figure, for the given rule, we're going to find the coordinates of the points. For example, Zug's rule, like I said, is 2x, 2y. So for point A, for Zug, what we're going to do is multiply 2, because that's what's in front of the x, 2 times this 0. So 2 times 0, because that's in the x coordinate for point A, and that gives us 0. Then we look at the y coordinate for Zug, and here's a 2 in front of it. The coefficient is 2. So we take the 2 and we multiply it by 1. So 2 times 1 equals 2. So then we're done with point A. So for Zug, point A is at 0, 2. Now let's find point B for Zug. That would be 2 times 2. And that gives you 4. Then 2 times 1 equals 2. Okay? And let's continue on with C. In this instance, we are going to multiply 2 times 2, and that's going to give us 4. And then we'll multiply 2 times 0, and that'll give us 0. So that's the ordered pair for point C, for Zug. For point D, we're going to multiply 2 times 3, and that's going to give us 6. Then 2 times 0 is going to give us 0. Okay? So what I want you to do is to continue on and to fill out all the different points for Zug, all the way down to part 4. And we'll do that as a class together.